Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Dean and Barbara White Community Center here in Merrillville, Indiana for Elite Fight Night. I'm Miguel Flores. Alongside with me is my partner and former UFC veteran and now coach, Frankie Saenz, as we get you set for a fantastic night of action. 15 fights on tap for you. Headline in our main event, Sherman Lovely takes on Valanti Atsas in the welterweight division. And Valanti Atsas, Frankie, it's a fighter that you and I are both familiar. He was on another previous card with the Elite, and he was able to get his first professional victory at Railcat Stadium. He realized this was the first fight where he can go 15 minutes, and now he is more confident than ever, and he is fighting in his hometown. Talk to us about what is it like fighting as a hometown fighter, that type of pressure on a fighter.
You know, and you said it right, Miguel. There is a lot of pressure. You know, with Valanti coming in, he's going to have the crowd behind him. You know, you want to perform. You want to do a great job, and, you know, you want to fight your fight. So I expect him to come out, push the pace, you know, find his leg kicks, establish his jab early, and really dictate the pace of this fight and get it to the ground.
Well, the gates have opened and the crowd is on its way in. It should be a fantastic night of fights as we have up-and-coming prospects from both the amateur and professional divisions here tonight. Elite Fight Night, fight number 1 is coming up next.
Elite Fight Night, first event in Merrillville, Indiana. Let's now send it up to our announcer, Raj Nation.
The following is a featherweight contest. Introducing first, fighting out of the Bird's Hot Chicken red corner, representing Intercept MMA, entering tonight with a record of 0-1, weighing in at 145.2 pounds, from Joliet, Illinois, Dom Aquino. And his opponents, fighting out of the BelineLife.com blue corner, representing Wildside Gym, making his fighting debut, weighing in at 145 pounds, from Louisville, Kentucky, Mouhamed Cisse. Referee Rob Madrigal.
There you see our tail of the tape. Aquino out of Joliet. Cisse, once we said from Senegal, but based out of Louisville, Kentucky. 3 3-minute rounds as this is an amateur bout, as Aquino already gets taken down immediately from Cisse.
Yeah, Cisse went right in for it. I guess his game plan, he wasn't going to hide. He was trying to get this to the ground.
And there you see Aquino trying to go for the arm bar. Cisse's got to be careful. Aquino already has one arm, but Cisse was able to break loose. And now both men to their feet. And already a cut above the right eye of Aquino's face there, Frankie.
A lot of that too is like you're running forward, so a lot of headbutts happen, like in those transitions. Good takedown again by Cisse. But Aquino's, he's trying things, you know, on top. He's trying to pull him in. He's trying to get that head control right now. Right now he's trying to pull that omoplata over. Haven't seen much success with that. Not in a while, but he's working right here. And right here, that's the key, is you got to keep working when you're on bottom. It gives you opportunities to get back to your feet.
And it absolutely did that in that first exchange, as we are now in the second. So Cisse has got to be careful. He's trying to stay calm now. As you can see, the blood's really starting to flow from that eye. And you wonder if that is impeding any of the vision of Aquino. It seems to be going near the side, but it is very early for a cut like that to start as Aquino gets to his feet again, but Cisse going back down with another takedown for Aquino.
Yeah, he does do a good job of getting back to his feet, but right there immediately got taken back down. It'd be interesting to see if Cisse can withstand this pace? You know, because it's hard. Once you get taken down, guy gets back to his feet, go for another takedown, and it's just the scrambling aspect gets you tired.
And there you saw the scrambling led to Aquino getting on top of Cisse. And Cisse's first time on his back, we saw what Aquino was able to do off his back. It was very aggressive, offensively going for the submissions, and there you see Cisse was able to kick Aquino off and get to his feet. So it's been a back and forth grappling battle between two strikers.
Cisse likes to showboat here a little bit. You know, hands down, head forward, and walks right into whatever that is.
I went for the trip there, but wasn't able to land it, as now Cisse pressing forward on Aquino. There you see that blood is really starting to get into that eye, right eye of Aquino.
The takedowns just get a little bit harder each time.
And there you see Cisse with the judo throw right as round one comes to the close.
That was nice there. I'd like to see Cisse attack more, like once he's in that clinch with Aquino, like start throwing knees, start moving around in the clinch. Like don't just look for the takedown, break off and strike, start mixing it up a little bit more.
Yeah, there was a little bit of an odd round because Cisse landed more takedowns, but the more aggressive fighter and the man that was able to get in more dangerous positions was Aquino. I mean, he had, as you mentioned, he went for the omoplata, wasn't able to connect on it, nearly had an arm bar, wasn't able to finish that as well, but nonetheless, I mean, he was going for it, and that was probably the most dangerous moments of that first round.
Yeah, and he did that with head control. Like, you know, Cisse's on top. He's not looking to posture up, strike, do damage on top, you know, even just stay out of submission attempts.
Round two coming now. Let's see if Cisse will keep the same strategy and really look to take Cisse down, or take Aquino down. As for Aquino, I'm sure he's going to be looking to try and stay on his feet a little bit longer as he comes in with the left hook. Cisse was able to shrug him off.
Good Aquino trying to establish that distance here in the second round.
There's a nice left hook with a straight right that Aquino landed right before he's taken down yet again by Cisse. And there you see Cisse immediately pushing his head down as another armbar for Aquino.
That looks tight, Miguel. Let's see if he can hang on, at least get back to his feet with that submission attempt.
And Frankie, as a wrestler, Cisse is continuously finding himself in these dangerous opponents, and the more you mess with fire, you're going to get burned. Talk to us what you're seeing from Cisse. He's getting the takedowns, but immediately finding himself into close submission attempps.
It's like when you take somebody down, you keep your head down, you know, on his chest, posture, your butt's up. Like, you know, that's how guys on the ground get their submissions, right? They're controlling the head, and from there they're trying to find angles. You know, that's why he's throwing up these arm bars. That's why triangles happen. But you try to establish that, and you got to establish posture, head control. You see how his butt's up in the air, his head's down. Like, you got to pick that head up, be back strong, be head strong, and start, you know, trying to pass, starting to land punches.
Now Cisse lets it go as Aquino gets back to his feet. Let's see if either man hasn't really had much success on the feet. Cisse attempting the judo throw, but he's got to be careful and not to give up his back here to Aquino. As Aquino, both men scrambling, as Cisse trying to end up on top, and he does in full mount. And this is major trouble for Aquino.
That was a nice transition from almost like rolling under the leg, coming back with the leg lock to ending up on top. Just creating a scramble. Ended up in full mount here.
And there you see Cisse trying to open Aquino up a bit as he delivers some ground and pound. Now Aquino smartly was able to get a leg back into half guard.
He's doing a better job of flattening Aquino out. I mean, obviously he was in full mount, but even right here in half guard, like what you have to do to your opponent. Right now he's up, his back's off the mat. Oh, and now he's rolling for that leg. But he's got good control, good base on top, where he's able to do some damage.
Yeah, this seems to be a better round for Cisse as far as ground control for him. Where, as you mentioned, he's kind of dictating the pace as round 2 ends.
We'll be back with round 3 after the break.
Elite Fight Night returns to the Hard Rock Casino, Northern Indiana, Friday, August 7th for a night of live MMA action. The region's premier MMA promotion brings you Chicago's top professional prospects and the next wave of rising amateur stars all in one explosive night. Be there for the action. Be there for the energy. Be there for EFN 30. Punch-a-palooza. This event will sell out. Get your tickets now before they're gone. Elite Fight Night, where Chicago fights.
Yeah, I'd like to see more body work by Aquino. You know, he stands real tall in his stance, which is allowing Cisse to get in for those takedowns, and really they're easy takedowns, easy finishes, because he's standing so tall in his stance. I mean, he's got good striking, but you know, you got to start going to the body, changing levels with those wrestlers. You know, finding knees, finding teeps down the middle. You know, maybe throw some uppercuts. You know, stop him from getting underneath you.
And there you see Aquino breathing very heavy. And it gets tough when you're being the one taken down over and over and over again, trying to get back to your feet. I mean, it takes a lot out of you.
Yeah, it takes a lot out of both guys, honestly. You know, looking for the takedowns and the guy's getting back up to his feet. You know, he's got to take advantage right now of Cisse getting a little win, catching a little win just from that heavy wrestling pace. And let's see if he goes to the body a little bit more here in this round.
And you mentioned it, Frankie. I think where Aquino needs to take advantage is on the feet, because Cisse has left himself open numerous times for clean shots. But Aquino's just too slow to pull the trigger. And they're right there. Big right hand that connected. And Cisse kind of leaves his hands open and his head high.
Yeah, he's landing some, you know, some knees to the body and stuff, but he's a little wild. He is leaving himself open.
There's a right connected for Cisse. And there's another big-time right hand connected for Aquino as he comes in forward, but walks right into a takedown easily for Cisse.
And he caught that right hand because Cisse switched stances. Like when guys are in there and, you know, they're orthodox fighters and you switch stances, like you don't see punches coming from the other side, if that makes sense. You know, when you're in there and you're fighting in the ring, like if you're in there and you're switching stances, you know, to southpaw, like you're getting punched a lot more just because you're not used to seeing that coming from that side, if that makes any sense to you. But you're right there on that line, you know, so you come in, anything down the middle is going to hit you.
And that's where some of the best in the game, the Anderson Silvas, the John Joneses, when you're able to master both stances, it makes it extremely difficult for your opponent, as we're now starting to see Aquino almost get a triangle as he's working. He's got Cisse tight. This is dangerous.
He's got to get an angle a little bit right here to finish this triangle because it's in there.
How does he finish this, Frankie, from this position?
And at least hook underneath the arm. He's got to get more of an angle. Turn, scoop underneath the leg, tee out. He's got to tee out right here. Or pull that head down a little more. He's got a lot of time.
Yeah, there is a minute left. That is a ton of time for Aquino to try to finish this. But again, it's the third round, both men very sweaty. It can get very slippery at this point in the fight, making it that much tougher for Aquino to tighten that.
Yeah, Aquino's really got to get to the opposite side. He's got to start scooting his back over and scooping underneath. Oh, he's out.
And there we mentioned, and Cisse, you saw him take a huge breath. So it was pretty tight, but not tight enough. And again, Aquino has had some tremendous opportunities, gotten close on a couple of submissions, just hasn't been able to finish it. And Cisse has been very lucky on multiple occasions. That's been the case.
Yeah, I think it's just being tired. You know, he gets that in the first round, he might finish it. But in that third round, he just wasn't doing the proper fundamentals to finish that choke.
Very entertaining start already. Back and forth battle between Cisse and Aquino. I'm sure Aquino's very disappointed with how it went, especially because he had those submission attempts and it was close to a couple. But Cisse, it ended up being just the takedowns. He was able to be successful taking Aquino down over and over and over again, and I don't think there's enough, at least in my eyes, to give the decision to Aquino. But you never know what the judges are looking at. How did you view the way that fight played out, Frankie?
Yeah, Aquino never really established any kind of control, you know, on his feet. You know, anytime he got anything going, he landed a couple right hands, but Cisse was immediately able to take him down, you know, and that's kind of where most of the fight ended up, is Aquino on his back, although early on he was throwing submissions, and even later there, you know, found a submission. But you spend too much time on your back, I don't think that looks good to the judges. And, you know, guys typically on bottom lose fights, especially for how long he was down.
Here is your winner by unanimous decision, 29-28, 29-28, 30-27, Mouhamed Cisse!
Mouhamed Cisse getting the unanimous decision, and that's pretty much how we saw it, Frankie. Just too much ground control in favor of Cisse.
The following is a flyweight bout. Introducing first, fighting out of the Bird's Hot Chicken red corner, representing UFC Gym Naperville, entering tonight with a record of 1-0, weighing in at 124.7 pounds, from Bolingbrook, Illinois, Jalan, Baby J, Gibson! And his opponent, fighting out of the BeelineLife.com blue corner, entering with a record of 2-2 and representing Wildside MMA, weighing in at 127.2 pounds, from Clarksville, Tennessee, Bryce Woerner! Referee Rob Hines.
Rob Hines, our referee. Woerner and Gibson. Woerner in the blue, Gibson in the black.
Ooh, Gibson's looking pretty quick right off the bat.
And you can just tell he is ready to explode. And that's certainly the stance of the striker as he gets his front leg almost kicked out underneath him and going for a takedown on Woerner.
Right, two southpaws out there. That's why it looks so weird. You hardly ever see two southpaws going at it.
And now a beautiful throw from Woerner as he ends up on top in the guard of Gibson.
See if Gibson made that mistake of trying to exchange and take him down. See what he can do on the bottom. Most important is just trying to get back to your feet. He's doing a good job controlling the head, pulling underhooks, pulling them down in there. But with these short rounds at the amateur level, I mean, they're 3-minute rounds. So, you know, every little bit counts.
I was a little confused by that approach, Frankie, when Gibson tried to grapple with Woerner. Wasn't sure if he was more of trying to prove a point that I can grapple with you, I can wrestle with you if need be. And now he gets to his feet, but should be in the back of his head that maybe that's not such a good idea.
And some fighters like to, right? A lot of fighters like have training partners that are all wrestlers. You know, so they get a little confidence in them, like, oh, hey, I took down so-and-so at the gym. I'm going to try to take this dude down. And he goes for another single leg. I mean, those are wrestling takedowns, too. It's not like, you know, we call it like MMA takedowns where they're kind of, I wouldn't say ugly. But, you know, those are pretty little single leg takedowns he's trying right now.
Yeah, he's going for it as both men just missed with an exchange, but a spinning back kick from Gibson, showing you his Taekwondo style background.
And this could be what he's trying to set up. You know, like, hey, I'm going to make him think I'm wrestling, and now I'm going to throw kicks. You know, go back to the wrestling, throw kicks. Sometimes it's good to mix it up.
Gets his front leg kick. And that's worked for Woerner a few times as now Gibson changes his stance. And if there's another left connected for Gibson as Woerner cuts off the cage.
Gibson does a good job of going in and out. Ooh, nice calf kick there landed by Woerner, though.
Yeah, that was the third calf kick that we've seen Woerner land. If you want to take away the legs of a Taekwondo artist, that's one way to do it. And now Woerner
cradles him up.
Now gets on top for some ground and pound. Gibson staying still. He throws a handstand kick as he was trying to get to his feet. So Woerner's got to be thinking he's got to watch out for everything here because you never know what angle Gibson's going to come from. But good first round for both men.
Yeah, Gibson has some dynamic movements, you know, where he's quick. You're like, oh, dang, that dude came out swinging pretty fast. You know, as far as his kicks, he has a question mark kick that, you know, could catch him later on in rounds. But I like his approach of going for the takedown or making it seem like he's going for that takedown, and later on he's going to try to strike off of it.
Yeah, he almost caught Woerner a few times, especially with that spinning back kick. As he was coming forward. And you mentioned maybe it is a tactic of, I'm not really wrestling, I just want to show him and make him think I'm going to, and then that will open up so many other options for him in the stand-up game.
What I don't like what Gibson's doing, though, is once he goes in and attacks, when he backs out, his hands are down, his head's up. You know, so he's open for those counter strikes.
Round number 2 here. Rob Hines gets a set. It's been a back and forth battle. That first round, pretty much a toss-up in my eyes. And we begin the action again. Woerner has had success kicking that front leg of Gibson.
Yeah, it was close. You know, I'd probably give it to Woerner just for the takedowns and the leg kick. The leg kicks, and dropped him with the leg kick last round, too.
There's a left hook just missed as Gibson was able to dodge. And there's that spinning back kick again.
But he does have that Taekwondo kind of stance.
And there's an uppercut landed for Woerner as now Gibson gets his feet kicked as he's trying to scramble away. So both men were staying in the pocket. Neither were able to land a clean shot, but those kicks continue to add up. And with a fighter like Gibson who uses his legs a lot, especially in his movement, that can certainly take that away. Now Woerner with a huge slam.
Nice body lock right there to side mount. You know, he was just patient. He's been real patient, not really pushing the pace, trying to take Gibson down. He's just waiting for him.
Now Woerner in side control. Let's see what damage he can do here. And now trying to control the head of Gibson.
And this is a good position as far as offensively, because the guy on the bottom really has to pull everything out of the gas tank to get out of this. You know, he's far from out right now. He's side mounted. You know, he's got to at least get an underhook, get back to guard possibly. He's almost there now if he can scoop that leg underneath. Oh, went right into full mount though.
There you see Woerner going for the arm triangle. This is dangerous position if you're Gibson. And Woerner lets it go, but now he finds himself in full mount and going to town on Gibson.
Yeah, Gibson's got a bump. Bridge, bump the hips.
There you see right there. Used his strength to at least get back to half guard.
Yeah, but now you got to start working to get up. You got 30 seconds left. You spent the last minute and a half on your back. You know, dig that underhook. Now start getting up. Right here, he's just laying flat on the mat, so he's nowhere near getting back to his feet. You know, if Woerner's like, oh, well, if he's just going to stay right here, then I'll just stay right here.
Yeah, Woerner's had himself a more decisive second round here, as he has really controlled the majority of this round on the ground.
Yeah, I got Woerner 2 rounds to none.
We'll be back with round 3 after the break.
He's good. He's just got solid control. He's patient, you know, on his feet. He's not trying to chase Gibson around. Gibson wants you to chase him around a little bit and make mistakes. You know, that's when you get caught in head kick.
Yeah, and that was a really good observation by Woerner to realize, look, if I just continue to kick that front leg, he's not going to like it, and it's also going to stop that movement a little bit more and allow me to use my wrestling.
A lot of it's that taekwondo stance. You know, so if you got a good coach and you're like, hey man, I've seen this guy fight, or even if you hear like, oh, he's got a taekwondo stance. Same with boxers that are transitioning into MMA. Like, it's just a stance where your foot's almost turned inside, like, so that calf is exposed. You know, and that's the closest thing to a fighter, right? The easiest strike is leg kick, leg kick. You know, you can be the furthest away and still land a kick. So that could have been something before the fight, be like, hey, we're gonna attack this calf kick.
Final round here between Woerner and Gibson. Both men, good sportsmanship there, giving each other a hug. Don't see that all the time. As we begin our final round, as again, Gibson, he certainly has the theatrics down. He gives you a lot of oohs and ahs, but just hasn't been able to connect on the majority of them.
Yeah, he's got to go for broke right here. He's got to empty the gas tank right now. Try to land something.
Uppercut just missed by Woerner. Both men threw a spinning kick, back kick at the same time.
He needs to go to the body and then go up top. Right now he's just head hunting.
There's another head kick as now Gibson tries to dip underneath with the takedown of his own. But Woerner appears very comfortable. Does not have a problem getting back to his feet. Now goes with the knees to the body and just a nice little trip from Woerner, as it appears he is in a standoff with Gibson, as allows Gibson to get to his feet.
Yeah, Woerner got taken down, got right back to his feet, immediately got into a clinch, landed a couple knees and swept him.
There's a nice little left from Gibson over the top. And he was going for a spinning back fist, and then he turned it over to a front head kick. And now a good left hook over the top connects, but Woerner's letting everyone know it did nothing.
Yeah, so Gibson likes that space. He likes staying out a little bit, stay in that kick range. As soon as these guys go inside, I mean, he took the shot right there. I think it was probably his 4th shot of the night.
And there you see Gibson went for a single leg, but just kind of collapsed and allowed Woerner to get into his full guard
Yeah, he didn't need that single leg at that point. You know, right now he needs to try to finish it on his feet. You know, the takedown. The coaches had to have been telling him at the end of that round, say, hey, Dad, you're down 2 rounds. You know, you got to go out and try to finish this fight.
.20 remain, and it appears that Woerner has grasped full control of this fight. That first round was probably the most up in the air round, but the second and third appear to be all Woerner. Now he's transitioning to trying to get side control as delivers a little bit of ground and pound in the final 10 seconds, and there you have it. Gibson, as you see the disappointment in his face. Good bout though, especially when you saw the kind of the game plans going back and forth between both men.
Yeah, good back and forth action. You know, a lot of young fighters, like they don't invest in the body, like find those body shots. Like they just, you know, they want to attack the head, like all head shots, punches, kicks, anything else. Like, you know, you got to find that body and you got to find those leg kicks.
And now we'll send it over to Raj Nation.
Presenting your winner by unanimous decision, 30-27, 30-27, 30-27, Bryce Woerner!
So Bryce Woerner, and he won that first round in all 3 of the judges' eyes. And
We'll be back with more Elite Fight Night action right after the break.
The following is a lightweight contest. Introducing first, standing in the red corner, representing UFC Gym Naperville, weighing in at 155 pounds, from South Elgin, Illinois, Tim Noverini. And his opponent, standing in the BelineLife.com blue corner, representing Lee Brothers MMA, weighing in at 155 pounds, from Bryan, Ohio, Bobby Kelley. Referee Rob Mallett.
Bobby Kelley has a macho man look to him.
he certainly does. Kelley versus Noverini. Rob Magical, our referee. Here we go. Immediately, Noverini with a huge uppercut surprises Bobby Kelley as he's trying to weather the storm. As now it appears Kelley almost went for a choke, but had to let it go. As now Noverini and on top.
Yeah, Noverini came right out swinging. You know, let's see if he can keep this pace, though. You know, this is his second amateur fight. You know, he's got a little bit of nerves, I'm sure. Little excited to get out there and go do work. A lot of time when you're a wrestler and you come from that wrestling background, like, you just want to go, 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 go. You know, and you got to learn to, like, take your foot off the gas a little bit.
And Noverini now in full control. Kelley has him in his guard. But he's also against the fence. Sometimes when you're in full guard, it doesn't matter because when you're along the fence, it really does you no good. Especially if you have someone on top of you that knows how to use the fence.
Yeah.
And there you see Noverini was able to transition a full mount. And Kelley in a world of trouble trying to get to his feet, but Noverini trying to get his hooks in. He's got the back of Kelley. And this is a very difficult position. And Noverini with the choke. Can he finish? Is it in?
It's close. Oh, he got the hand down.
Noverini was very close to finishing this.
But he keeps letting him get back underneath the chin. That beard is not helping him.
Raw Magical looking very closely. Kelley doing all he can to try to let go, and now he taps that quick. Noverini just ran through Bobby Kelley.
Oh, that was quick work, and they just headbutted the fence. Did you see that? No, I mean, he came right after him. You know, went right for the takedown, jumped on his back. I thought he was going to fall off and get too high and lose position, but he ended up staying on, slipping that choke in.
That was such a quick, assertive approach. And Noverini showed, hey, it worked. Quick and decisive Tim Noverini. Let's send it over to Raj Nation.
Presenting your winner by tap out via rear naked choke and 1 minute and 57 seconds in the first round, Tim Noverini.
Makes me want a Modelo.
Tim Noverini with his first victory as an amateur.
We'll be back with more Elite Fight Night action right after the break.
Elite Fight Night returns to the Hard Rock Casino, Northern Indiana, Friday, August 7th for a night of live MMA action. The region's premier MMA promotion brings you Chicago's top professional prospects and the next wave of rising amateur stars all in one explosive night. Be there for the action. Be there for the energy. Be there for EFN 30. Punch-a-palooza. This event will sell out. Get your tickets now before they're gone. Elite Fight Night, where Chicago fights.
The following is a welterweight contest. Introducing first, fighting out of the Birds Hot Chicken red corner. Entering tonight with a record of 1-2, representing Lee Brothers MMA. From Fort Wayne, Indiana, Taylor Burley. His opponents, fighting out of the BeelineLife.com blue corner, entering with a record of 2-1, representing Elite Athletic Club, weighing in at 168.9 pounds, from Chicago, Illinois, Steven, the Serbian Freight Train, Mihajlovich! Referee Rob Madrigal.
Mihajlovich in the red trunks, Burley in the black. And Mihajlovich immediately goes for the takedown. Gets it rather easily as he has Burley pressed against the cage.
So he's up there trying to Khabib those legs, like figure four those legs. Keep him on the ground. It's like you got to use all your limbs. Khabib does that real well. He'll figure four those legs, get you tangled up, where you can't move. There's no way out. Well, he slipped his legs out here. Let's see if he can get some ground and pound on top.
Now Mihajlovich lets his hands free. Now, as you mentioned, there's some ground and pound.
Let's see if he can posture and possibly land some strikes. He needs to pull that right hand out. Throw right there, it is.
And now he is standing up. He has got the back of Burley's head with his left hand, trying to grasp the neck there. Burley trying to create some space so he can get to a better position. But Mihajlovich, you can tell, very strong.
Yeah, looks no way like a wrestler. Impersonator.
And there's Mihajlovich again, just been working on Burley pretty much this entire round. from the jump. Was able to get the easy takedown. Now going for the submission.
Almost looking for that Kimura over here on the other side.
Not sure if he has the position to do it. Kimura is very tough to get. There's a massive knee to the side of Burley.
I mean, that was probably the hardest shot he's landed this whole fight.
Yeah, it's been more about position control after the takedown for Mihajlovich.
Yeah, he's got to find posture, find ways to strike.
And that's what makes you go from just, okay, he's a good wrestler, to a dangerous wrestler when you can get him to the ground and then you can do damage when you have him on the ground.
Yeah.
There's like another level to that when you, because it's half the battle just to get him to the ground. And when you can get an opponent to the ground as successfully as fighters do, what separates you from the great ones is when you can just destroy an opponent when you get them on the ground.
It's really like an art, to be able to do it. Like, if you're thinking about combinations on your feet, whether it be boxing combinations or, striking combinations, like, it's the same on the ground. Like, you got to throw that left hand to set up that right hand. You got to posture up, like turn that shoulder to the right to land that left. And it's really the same thing, and it's something you got to work. Something you got to work over time. You got to do bag work in the gym, so where you can actually feel yourself like punching something, as hard as you can. And then you got to work with a partner. You got to find wrists, you got to find those positions, and you got to slow it down a lot of times and just have a good partner that you can work with. It just all goes back to the gym.
And working those different positions. See if Burley can have a bounce back round. Really weren't able to see what Burley could do, much of anything, because he was on the ground so fast.
Yeah.
So we don't really know what he has for his stand-up.
Yeah, Mihajlovich looks like he wants to take him down already. They're not even close.
There's a good leg kick, but Mihajlovich caught it and immediately back on the ground. And it's right in the center of the cage. So, and it's not even just turned 15 seconds into the second round. So, Burley's got a long time. He's got to figure something out quick. Trying to get the omoplata in position, but with a guy like Mihajlovich, it's going to be extremely difficult.
Yeah, and you can win a lot of early fights just knowing how to wrestle. Just being able to take somebody to the ground, find control. You can learn how to, if you learn how to wrestle and stay out of submissions. You could win a lot of these type of fights. You're like, oh yeah, I can come in. I'm just gonna take this dude down, beat him up.
That's exactly what Mihajlovich is doing right now.
Yeah, we haven't seen much on the feet. Caught a kick, but ate a kick to the body. I'm sure that kick hurt him.
Now, Burley gets to his feet. This might be his opportunity now.
He hurt us.
And again, Burley just slipped on the leg kick. And a huge up kick caught Mihajlovich as he came in on the button. That might have stunned Mihajlovich a bit. That was brutal.
He'll never admit it.
If you're going to get kicked that way, you couldn't end up in a better position when you're just right in full guard. You could kind of just rest and regather yourself a bit.
That was his only shot. Oh!
And another up kick to the chin.
I thought he was falling.
And Burley is showing some life here.
Those were his best. Don't stand up again, dude. Jeez.
And I think if you're Mihajlovich, you should think twice about trying to stand up, at least in that position, because the up kicks.
Yeah, you can't do
You
that.
can get knocked out from one of those up kicks.
It's like it's just a lack of control.
And now Mihajlovich has the back. Can he sink in the choke? He might have it. Can he do it? Not able to get a good look. He has it under the chin. Will he tap? Oh, it looks deep.
Yeah, It looks deep. Burley's tough though. He's not letting him have it. He's biting down on that chin.
And now
He might get
Mihajlovich,
out.
he's
He
got
might be
20
out.
seconds to make this happen. 15. Can he beat the clock?
Will Burley go to sleep?
And there's Mihajlovich. As there's the tap. Mihajlovich gets the choke just before the end of round 2.
Yeah, it was bound to happen. Bound to happen. I don't want to see him get up kicked anymore.
I don't think he wanted to get up kicked anymore either.
Oh man.
Tough loss, but Burley just got caught out of position, and Mihajlovich took advantage, took the back rather easily, and you wonder if that was a product of Burley really starting to get more of his offense going from his back, and kind of got a little sloppy, allowed Mihajlovich to take his back as we send it up to Raj Nation.
Presenting your winner by tap out via rear naked choke at 2 minutes and 51 seconds in the second round, Steven the Serbian Freight Train Mihajlovich!
Yeah, a lot of heavy wrestling. What did I say? Look at that guy. There's no way that dude's not a wrestler.
We'll be back after the break.
Our main event features a professional welterweight contest. Introducing first, fighting out of the Bird's Hot Chicken red corner. Entering tonight with a record of 0-1 and representing Scorpion Fighting System. Weighing in at 168.3 pounds from Detroit, Michigan, the Grim Reaper, Sherman Lovely! His opponent, fighting out of the BeelineLife.com blue corner, representing Maxim Gym with a record of 1-0, weighing in at 169.3 pounds. He is Merrillville Strong, Valanti 300 Atsas! Referee Rob Madrigal.
Atsas against Lovely. Lovely in the black and white trunks. Atsas in the gray.
Leg kick back. Lovely has a good outside leg kick.
And Lovely tries to line up that right.
Both of these guys try to establish that leg kick early.
Now, Valanti right away with the takedown, but Lovely up very quickly.
And that's what Valanti's going to have to do to win this fight, I think. You know, is just find that pressure, find those takedowns, make Lovely get back to his feet. You know, so in those later rounds, he's not going to be getting up so easy. Lovely seems to be putting a lot of effort into just holding him up against the cage. It tends to burn your arms out pretty quick. So Valanti's got to kind of create some space. Frame up, there it is. Move them, now turn them. You know, turn one side, turn the over. They're in an over-under position right now. There it is. Turned them right in there. Lovely doesn't look strong at all. Dude looks like a machine, dude. He's going to push him out of the cage.
And you see Lovely, really trying to press Atsas.
What's nice about the cage, you can just relax on the cage. Like, let that cage just kind of hold you up. But you can't stay here too long.
And you saw Valanti right away. Uses momentum,
Nice
battling for
knees.
position.
Yeah. Can't drive. You got to get head position, Valanti.
And now Lovely again, knee to the body. And a trip. And Lovely was able to maintain his balance.
Find those knees, knees to the thighs, knees to the body.
And Lovely, again, just trying to keep his shoulder right there in the chest of Valanti.
Yeah, but he's just, you know, there's no danger for him to strike. He's got to find head position. He's got to shift his head over to the left side. Oh, all right.
Now Lovely with the takedown, but Valanti immediately fought back. Looking for the choke, but let's go. And a trip from Valanti.
These are the scrambles that go in Volanti's favor right here.
And now Valanti trying some ground and pound, was able to get a couple of shots in. Lovely trying to get back to his feet, but gave up the back. Can Valanti sink in a hook? He's got one hook in.
Looks like he might be able to get under that neck.
This is a dangerous position there as Valanti has the back of Lovely, looking to get underneath that neck.
Oh, Lovely's got a tripod.
And now,
Get to his feet, shake him off the top. He's too high.
and you saw that as Lovely, it almost looked like he was trying to go off the back. Valanti working that neck, trying to create some space. And again, a little high. Lovely with a minute to go.
He's either got to stand up or put his hands down in tripod. So Valanti falls over the top.
And now,
All right, he's got to get his back to the mat. You got to find your back to the mat. You got to pick a side. On that side, he's got the underhook, so it's going to be hard for him to get his back to the mat.
and you see Lovely trying to slowly work to spin.
There he goes. Now
And
he's out.
there's Lovely back on top. Good work to get out of that position.
And those were nice transitions in defense. Like doing the right thing, trying to shake them off, protecting your neck. He just looks tired, though, right now on top. He needs to spend the rest of the round and just recover. Catch his breath.
That's the end of round number one.
But those scrambles, like I said, play in Volanti's favor. You know, Valanti wants those scrambles, wants to wear him out in those wrestling positions. That way in those later rounds, he's not going to have that fight.
So it was good work with Valanti. One of the things that we saw in his first professional fight was the gas tank started to wane as the fight progressed. Did that improve over the past year?
He's going to step on the gas either way. You know, all his fans are here, his family's here. Like that, I think that's what drives him. That's what motivates him. But let's see if Lovely can withstand the pressure here. Let's see how they recover in between rounds. That's huge.
Lovely did a good job not panicking when Valanti had his back. He was still calm, cool, and collected, and just kind of waited for his moment to switch position.
Yeah, he relaxed. He was a little more panicked at the beginning, but tend to relax as the round went on.
And immediately Valanti with the double leg. I think caught Lovely by surprise at how quickly that ended up, and Valanti might have seen something that Lovely cannot handle him on the ground.
Yeah, I don't see much guys finish this omoplata besides just stay on their back for longer.
Yeah, it is so hard to finish omoplata, especially a guy like Valanti, who is a strong wrestler. And there you see.
Well, it's just about fundamentals right here. It's like pushing the head away. Okay, get a knee shield. You know, you want to drive that knee across his body. So you create a frame to keep him from punching you. You know, that eventually gives you the space to get underneath, find your underhooks, and get back to your feet.
And now Valanti going to work on the body, trying to get a Kimura. Nice, steps over, gets the mount. Might let that go and just focus on the mount.
Yeah. Let's see if he can trap him here. If he can come underneath.
And now Valanti trying to just go to town now.
There you go.
Lovely's in dangerous waters.
Yeah, he's flattened. Like there's nowhere for him to go. He's got to turn his hips to the side and try to create some space so he can get out, you know, clear the hips. If Valanti stays high up in the armpits, there's no way he's going to be able to bump him off.
Some serious ground and pound now, as Valanti is now Lovely with an escape, using the cage to kick off and explode into Valanti's full guard now.
No, but that's good. You got to use all elements. You got to use the cage. Like the cage is there. Like, you know, there comes times when you're either drilling with the guy or going live with the guy in practice, and there's that wall right next to you. Like they start using that wall, you know, they can do crazy things as far as getting themselves perpendicular and you know, getting those hips up there in a hurry.
And I think it caught Valanti by surprise because he was going to town on the ground and pound and didn't realize that Sherman had the ability to kick off. So now he finds himself on his back, and now he's in full mount.
Look at Sherman with the full mount. Dang, how do you even score this round now? Let's see how this plays out. The first half of the round, Valanti with the control.
Now can Lovely do damage? We saw Valanti, he was able to get some ground and pound, and now Lovely immediately lets go as Valanti was able to spin out of it, and now he is in the guard of Lovely.
Yeah, these guys aren't covering position very well. You know, it's having that wide base so you don't get rolled.
And now Valanti just working the ground and pound. It's got to be demoralizing if you're Lovely. You finally get in an advantageous position, you're in full mount, and you give it up that quickly.
So they call it body, body, head, body, body, head. Take that body a couple shots.
And now Valanti all over Lovely. Final 30. Here's some elbow work. Valanti really trying to stay as busy as possible. He is having to work though. It has not been easy. Now Lovely almost was able to kick Valanti off of him. And that's the end of round 2.
We'll be back with round 3 after the break.
just got to create a little more space if he wants to land those elbows on top. Create that space, come right over the top. You know, that way he can't even block it. But you gotta, you gotta get that height a little bit.
There you see the corner of Lovely.
Telling him, hey, he's gonna go right for that takedown. I mean, he came out right for it the last round.
Yeah, we've barely seen any time of this fight with both men on their feet. A lot of it has been on the ground game. What would your advice be to both men if you're, first off, if you're Sherman?
Sherman, like, hey, he's coming for that takedown. You got to make sure you're protecting those legs. Maybe drop your stance a little bit lower, go to the body, throw a knee, a teep, something down the middle. Valanti is going right for that takedown.
Good little uppercut from Lovely. I mean, if you're Lovely, you may want to test the stand-up game.
Yeah. See, that's all good stuff right there. Right down the middle. Give him thinking about that takedown.
There's some blood trickling from the left eye of Valanti.
So he's going to get taken down, kind of sitting high like that.
There's a good right hand from Lovely, right as Valanti was coming in. Another good right hand. Lovely's got to be careful not to go too aggressive, because you know Valanti's looking to take for the takedown.
Yeah, he's almost stepping with that right foot after he throws that right hand.
Immediately, Valanti shoots for the takedown.
Nice sprawl. Let's see if he can control this front headlock. If he can get up on his toes and really pull that head down. Ooh. And that's called a spin score in wrestling.
And Lovely with a beautiful maneuver to get the back. This is dangerous. Can he get the body lock?
Ooh, that's a nice little body lock he has there. Oh, all right, the craftiness.
Lovely's trying very hard for the choke.
That is tight. Look at that hook outside the leg there. Even though he's not getting that choke, he's not going anywhere. What Valanti has to do is he has to get his body to the other side of Lovely to break that lock.
And if you're Lovely, you might want to loosen him up with some shots to the head. Get his mind off of fighting the choke, and then try to slip it in there. It's very tough at this moment in the third round when, again, you're sweaty. It's easy to kind of slip your hands out. You got those gloves on. That also takes up some space. This is not as easy of a position as it looks, Frankie, and you know, I mean, you've been in this position before where you're trying to finish this choke on the back, but it's tough.
Yeah, you know, you got to soften them up a little bit. You know, it's like a give and take. Oh, now he let go of that body lock. You know, which was to his advantage, because I didn't see Valanti getting out of that. But then again, he can't finish this choke. I mean, what's the score? You know, is it 1-1? Is it 2-0 Valanti? Like, does he need to finish this fight?
Now Lovely's trying to squeeze, but I don't think he has it fully underneath the chin. I mean, we have seen Khabib finish a choke, even though he's not fully underneath. He just cranking your chin, but you got to have some incredible strength too.
Yeah, and that's more forearm, you know, like a forearm in your jawbone.
Yeah.
And it just hurts. You know, like this dude has his bicep. His bicep almost looks comfortable to sleep on.
And now, again, Lovely been controlling this entire third round. He's got to be careful not to loosen up that body lock and allow Valanti to explode out of it.
Yeah, Valanti's got to get his back to the mat right now. He's got to push off over that way on that choke side and get his back flat to the mat. Pick a side. Pick a side, get your back flat, and that's going to create a scramble for him to get off, or get off his back.
And now Valanti almost spun out of it. Lovely, though, still keeps the hooks in, but he is high. He is very high. 40 seconds remain. Regardless, Lovely has controlled this third round, and you wonder, I mean, it's been a close fight. Did Valanti do enough in the first 2 rounds?
Uh-oh, your reverse is,
And now Valanti trying to go to work.
let's see if he can tee off over here. Finish strong. He's got to get to his feet and punch. Rain punches.
There's an elbow. Valanti trying to finish strong. Leave a good impression in the judge's eyes. And that's the end of the fight. Back and forth it went.
That was a battle. I mean, both those boys didn't want to give up that win. You know, they fought to the end. They're exhausted now.
They left it all in that cage, and it was back and forth. Really a good main event here with Elite Fight Night.
Those guys are exhausted right now. Oh, that was a big grappling exchange. A lot of them.
It was a lot of transitions we saw. We saw from full mount to giving up your back to fighting the choke to full guard again.
A body triangle.
There was a lot. Saw some ground and pound from Valanti. Now, what will the judges score? It's one of those fights that could go either way. I personally would probably still give the edge to Valanti because I thought he did enough in the first 2 rounds. But again, it was close.
Yeah, I mean, my edge is probably to Valanti.
Let's see what Raj Nation has.
Presenting your winner by unanimous decision, 29-28, 29-28, 30-27. Valanti 300.
Unanimous decision for Valanti Atsas. I will say, one judge had it 30-27. Not sure if he was watching the same third round as both you and I. But nonetheless, I think they got it right. And Valanti improves to 2-0. What a great night of fights we had tonight. We started with a 3-round battle between 2 young up-and-coming featherweights where Mouhamed Cisse pulled off the unanimous decision victory against a very tough Dom Aquino. Then we went to the flyweight division for a back-and-forth battle between 2 high-energy fighters where Tennessee's Bryce Woerner earned his 3rd win. Next, it was a dominant victory for Naperville, Illinois prospect Tim Noverini as he finished Bobby Kelley in round number 1 via rear naked choke. Then the Serbian freight train Stephen Mihajlovich rolled through Taylor Burley in round number 2 with an impressive victory, earning the tap out via rear naked choke. And then to conclude the evening, Valanti 300 Atsas moved his professional record to 2-0 with the win over a very tough Sherman Lovely in front of his hometown crowd right here in Merrillville, Indiana. For my partner Frankie Saenz, President Jesse Nunez, and the entire Elite Fight Night crew, this is Miguel Flores signing off from EFN 19.
Elite Fight Night returns to the Hard Rock Casino, Northern Indiana, Friday, August 7th for a night of live MMA action. The region's premier MMA promotion brings you Chicago's top professional prospects and the next wave of rising amateur stars all in one explosive night. Be there for the action. Be there for the energy. Be there for EFN 30. Punch-a-palooza. This event will sell out. Get your tickets now before they're gone. Elite Fight Night, where Chicago fights.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to part 2 of Elite Fight Night, live from Merrillville, Indiana, inside the Dean and Barbara White Center.
I'm Miguel Flores. Alongside with me is my partner and former UFC veteran and now coach, Frankie Saenz, as we get you set for a fantastic night of action. 15 fights on tap for you.
We will start the night off in the amateur division, where we will see fighters who are just breaking into the MMA scene. Then we will move into the pro card, featuring our co-main event, where we will have Konnor Kuppe taking on fan favorite Tyler Scott.
Stylistically should shape up to be a fan-pleasing type of a fight when you have two strikers. When you talk about Kuppe, who specializes in karate, and Tyler Scott, who I've seen fight several times, likes to stand in the center of the cage and bang. Stylistically, when both guys want to stand and bang, what are the keys to give either man the edge?
I think Tyler's more of a Muay Thai style fighter. He's a linear fighter, likes to stand straight up, loves the clinch, likes to throw knees and elbows. You know, Kuppe wants that distance. Kuppe wants to stay away. He's more of like a kick range. He wants to keep you in that kick range. So it's an interesting matchup to see who can establish control in the cage.
It's a packed house here in Merrillville, Indiana, and the crowd is absolutely electric. Zach Hassan and Cesar Ortega is coming up next.
Introducing first, fighting out of the Birds Hot Chicken red corner, entering tonight with a record of 1-0, representing Wrecking Ball MMA, weighing in at 149.6 pounds, from Park City, Illinois, all hail Cesar Ortega! His opponent, fighting out of the BeelineLife.com blue corner, making his fighting debut, representing UFC Gym Naperville, weighing in at 148.9 pounds, from Wheaton, Illinois, Zach the Assassin Hassan! Referee Rob Madrigal.
Ortega and Hassan, second bout of the evening. It is a packed crowd here. Fight night, big left hook that puts Hassan down immediately. Ortega looks to pounce, and Hassan trying to recover. What a start.
Well, Hassan immediately goes into wrestling mode.
Looked like he was able to recover. A little bit of a flash knockdown. Ortega's got to be careful not to over pursue as he connects with the right hand, and now Hassan grabbed his leg. Is able to get Ortega down and takes his back. Ortega has to be careful not to give up his neck.
Yeah, that was quick.
What a scramble. Ortega connecting early, scoring a knockdown, but wasn't able to finish. Hassan bounces right back up and now has the back of Ortega. Ortega being very smart. Now he's able to get out of that one. Delivers a left hook, followed by a right hand. Hassan counters with the right of his own.
Hassan's chin is too high in these exchanges. Like, they're too close. And so when he's throwing kicks and throwing punches, like, he's bringing himself in that zone, and his chin's real high. That's why he's getting clipped and getting caught with those punches down the middle.
Good knee, followed by a straight left from Ortega. And he is really taking a toll on Hassan in the stand-up as he eats a counter left from Hassan. But as you mentioned, the head is being held high by Hassan, making himself an easy target for Ortega. And Ortega with the left Another connection there. And you're starting to see a little bit of a shiner on the right eye of Hassan.
Yeah, a lot of wrestlers, they know how to come in and strike and set up their offense, but it's the defense. You know, it's getting back in your hips, like getting on that front foot, getting back out, creating angles, getting your head back offline, tucking that chin.
There's a left hook that stunned Hassan. His legs are wobbly. Ortega trying to finish, connects with the right. A left hook connected by Hassan. And a big-time knee from Ortega.
And just headhunting here, like no body shots. You know, a couple knees to the body, teep to the body, but Hassan's got to go to the body as well.
Hassan is taking a lot of punishment on the feet so far. And another big right as you're starting to see a huge cut opened up on the right eye. Another left. Ortega just relentless pursuit. Eats a right hand, but that's not stopping him. And now Hassan with the right of his own.
Hassan's just a tough kid.
He is taking some abuses. Another right hand connects for Ortega. What a first round, Frankie.
Oh, man. You see all those straights he's just landing to Hassan. Ortega landing to Hassan. And just whipping that head back. Okay, because he's not able to get out. He's not able to, you know, create any kind of angles after his punches. He's throwing those punches or those kicks and staying right on that line and staying right in the zone. So he's going to continue to eat those shots. He's got to start looking for takedowns, try to get it back to the, you know, to the ground.
And that's what my next question was. It appears that Ortega is just full board ahead, straight forward. And, I mean, obviously he's had Hassan hurt multiple times, so he's got to let his guard down as far as takedown defense. I think that's where the opening should come in if you're Hassan. Being a wrestler and a grappler, that should transition to an easy takedown if you're Hassan, if you time it right.
Yeah. I mean, you know, use his, you know, as far as you said, coming forward, right? Just teeing off, like trying to land all those shots. Like change your levels, finish that takedown in those opportune times.
You see the doctor coming in to check on Hassan, and I don't know if he's trying to do a little bit of sparring there. That's the first time I've seen that.
Yeah, same here. I'm like, what? He just wants to make sure he can punch.
He looks at him, says he's good, and we move forward. But if you're Hassan, I think you have to abandon the feet and the striking game altogether because it wasn't pretty. And if he continues to stand on his feet, he's going to get picked apart and immediately goes for the leg.
Even doing that, like go for the leg, come back up, throw strikes. Go for the leg, come back up, throw strikes. Like you have to use your wrestling to set up your strikes.
Ortega looks sharp. He also took a few punches from Hassan, but didn't seem fazed by any of them as takes another right hand from Hassan. As Hassan going for the double leg. Ortega. A huge takedown connected for Hassan. First of the fight. And this is more his comfort zone, Frankie, as he is now able to trying to get the back, almost falling off the side there.
Yeah, he's almost too high. Like he's got those little short legs. Like you got to stay back on the hips. You know, if you come too high, your head's going over, he's going to lose position right here.
That's exactly what happened as Ortega was able to sneak out the back door, and now he is on top of Hassan.
You know, Ortega's doing a good job of controlling. A lot of wrestlers, which Hassan's a wrestler, you know, have a hard time getting off their back. Like right now he's got closed guard. With closed guard, like you have no offense. You know, you have to create some kind of angle to get any offense going, and you're not doing that in a closed guard.
And now both men tied up as Hassan's trying to keep Ortega on the ground. Is looking to sink in a hook, but it just, both men are on their feet now, so.
Yeah, Hassan's got to do a little bit of dirty fighting right here. You know, well, Ortega's landing the knees. Hassan should be landing those knees, throwing those little short punches, you know, do some damage, throw some knees to the legs.
Very similar, kind of like how Randy Couture would work, where it wasn't pretty, but he would just kind of maul you, push you up against the cage, maybe not score the takedowns, but use his weight, use his wrestling, keep you down, you come up, and those short little shots, it adds up as Hassan takes a knee to the body.
Yeah, it's scoring. You know, it's more than just holding. Like a lot of times guys get guys on the fence and they don't do anything with it. You know, they can't get the takedown. All they do is get tired. That's a nice frame there by Ortega. Clinch.
Ortega just going to town on the body with the knees.
And those hurt. Those hurt. Hassan is definitely hurting right now from those knees.
And you saw him try to switch positions.
Gonna find another knee.
And Ortega with the Muay Thai clinch just going to town, and Hassan going. And he's almost made a look over to referee Rob Madrigal, and another knee to the body. Just brutal Muay Thai work being done from Ortega.
That was an excellent display of clinch work. You know, going from the full clinch to almost like an underhook, frame. Landed a lot of heavy shots. I don't think as an amateur in Indiana you can throw knees to the head, which is probably why he didn't knee him to the head. But he landed a lot of body shots.
Yeah, it was, and it was so far. It wasn't a bad round for Hassan up until that point when Ortega was able to get him in that Muay Thai clinch and then just went to town. And I think that gives the edge to Ortega to win that round too in the eyes of the judges, because there was a point that it almost looked like Ortega was going to finish it.
Yeah, and that's the difference between the fighters, right? I think more evolved is Ortega, you know, as far as like throwing in the clinches, you know, throwing off the brakes, like that sort of thing. Where Hassan's like just coming in, trying to wrestle, trying to take you down. You know, it's either striking or wrestling. It's either striking or wrestling. There's no in-between fighting from Hassan right now.
Ortega looking to land the straight right as Hassan went for a judo throw, but eats another knee. And there's, I'm sure in Ortega's mind now, knowing the damage that he did towards the end of that second round with the Muay Thai clinch, might be something he's going to be looking to go to again.
I mean, that's 4 knees he's landed already. You know, 6. You know, he's just going to town on these knees.
There's another knee.
Hassan has no answer for it.
Hassan trying to land the double leg. Ortega doing everything he can to stay on his feet, but unsuccessfully finds himself with his back on the mat.
You know, and how do judges score that, right? Like, you know, Ortega just landed 6 body shots, 6 knees to the body, and Hassan gets a takedown. You know, Ortega, like, how do you weigh that? Are the 6 knees to the body worth more than that 1 takedown?
And there's Ortega is able to transition.
Now it
top.
is. Now it is.
I think that just answered your question there. As Ortega, with some ground and pound work, he has dominated this fight so far.
And it's hard with that wrestling pace, right? Like when you're constantly going for the takedown, and that, not even talking about like the knees to the body, like what that does to your conditioning. You know, but constantly pressuring for it. Now it's the 3rd round. Now you're in more of those scrambles, like, and now you're on your back. You know, you got to find a way to get back to your feet and win this fight.
This has not been an ideal first bout for Hassan. He's certainly learning a lot in his amateur debut, as Ortega is never really been in any trouble. Had one instance in that first round where he gave up his back, nearly had a rear naked choke, but was able to defend out of it. But it has been all Ortega since, as again just going to town on Hassan.
But this is where you learn. You know, you said it right. Like, you have to learn at this level. Like, if this is something you really want to do, you know, did you put in the work all at camp? Like, were you at every single practice? Were you doing the extra running? Were you making, you know, were you on a proper diet? You know, did you make weight? You know, that kind of stuff.
And Hassan landed a big straight left, followed by a huge right. Showing some fight in the final 20.
You know, he has no quit in him. You know, it's just the work ethic. Does he have the work ethic?
There's those knees again from Ortega, which is really done some damage ever since we saw them in round 2 as Hassan, now both men scrambling. Ortega gets Hassan down, but that is the end of the fight as Ortega lets out an emphatic scream with blood running down his nose as he believes he did more than enough to get the victory. I'd have to agree with him, but again, you never know.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good gutsy performance by Ortega. You know, knowing that you're going to go against a wrestler, he's going to be pushing the pace on you. He's going to constantly be trying to take you down, like take you into deep waters, and be able to have that, you know, that dirty clinch game, like beating him up, you know, beating him up on your feet. You know, being able to keep the fight on your feet. You know, dictating where the fight takes place, you know, all goes into that victory.
Really good performance from Ortega. Showed multiple levels on his feet, on the ground game. Got caught with a couple shots at times, but just took him in stride and really did a number on Hassan. As now we have our decision. So now we'll send it over to Raj Nation.
Presenting your winner by unanimous decision, 30-27, 30-27, 30-26. All hail Cesar Ortega!
Cesar Ortega with the victory. Unanimous decision across the board. Even one judge gave him a 10-8 round. No argument from our side. That was a pretty dominating victory for Ortega.
We'll be back with more Elite Fight Night action right after the break.
The following is a catchweight bout. Introducing first, out of the Bird's Hot Chicken red corner, entering tonight with a record of 0-1, representing Circle City Gym, weighing in at 140.9 pounds, from Indianapolis, Indiana, Alex Delgado! And his opponent, fighting out of the BelineLife.com blue corner, entering with an 0-1 record, weighing in at 137.6 pounds, representing Dominion MMA from DeKalb, Illinois, Joey Chacon! Referee Rob Hines.
Interested to see how this will play out with Chacon taking this on short notice. Delgado looking for his first amateur victory. We're set. Rob Hines gets us going. Delgado in the Stars and Stripes. Chacon in the black and yellow. As now Delgado goes for a guillotine immediately.
Oh, looks tight. Looks like a tight little guillotine right off the bat. Let's see. Oh.
And Delgado had to let it go. Chacon on top, but in the guard of Delgado. Delgado now trying to transition to a triangle.
Ooh.
Not sure if he has it entirely.
It looks tight. He doesn't have the angle. The fence is in the way. So he's got to turn over here that way. Ooh, he's getting there, though.
And you've seen Chacon using the fence, trying to stay as close as possible to the fence to not allow Delgado to extend.
Yeah, I mean, you do. You got to keep walking that way and keep him from attacking that angle on that side.
And now it looks a little bit looser as Chacon, you can start to see the space, and Delgado lets it go.
Transition
but now he might
right
be
into that arm bar.
going for the arm, and
it's tight.
he tapped. And that's all it took. Delgado with quick work.
I guess Delgado has been working on his ground game. He came in with that 10 Planet shirt on. You know, and I don't know, some guys like to play games like, oh, I'm going to wear my 10th Planet shirt, make this guy think I'm grappling, you know, because I haven't been in the gym at all. But obviously, like, going from, you know, from triangle to armbar, you know you've been in the gym working, and they look tight. Like, both of them, you know, actually 3 submission attempts. You know, went for that guillotine right off the bat, went right into the triangle, then finished that armbar.
Quick bout, Delgado with the victory. Let's go
Here's
to
your
Raj
winner
Nation.
at 1 minute and 8 seconds in the first round by tap out via armbar, Alex Delgado.
Alex Delgado scoring the early submission. Went from guillotine to triangle to eventually the armbar, was able to sink that in. And Delgado just could never escape that trouble.
The following pro contest is a bantamweight bout. Introducing first, fighting out of the Bird Hot Chicken red corner. Entering tonight with a record of 0-1, representing Naptown, BJJ, and boxing, weighing 135.5 pounds, from Clayton, Indiana, Brandon Lazarus Zimmerman. His opponent, fighting out of the BelineLife.com blue corner, entering with a record of 1-1, representing Team Cologne, weighing in at 135.8 pounds, from Crown Point, Indiana, Jonathan Fishbowl Appelman. Referee Rob Madrigal.
Zimmerman and Appelman. Zimmerman in the blue, Appelman in the black. Leg kick right away for Zimmerman. Immediate takedown attempt by Appelman.
He needs to get his butt down, lift his head up, and just lift him off the cage and turn him.
Big takedown for Appelman as he goes right into side control.
He's like, what happened? What happened? He needs to find that underhook. He needs to let go of the head. Right now, he's beat. You know, he doesn't have the position.
He's not going to do himself any favors holding on to the head.
Yeah, besides get him tired, right? Like, scoop under that head, find the underhook, and find your left hip. He's getting there, but he doesn't have that underhook. That underhook, it's almost in there. He's got it. Well, he's got it around the head. That's why. Anything you do is gonna.
And they tapped. A quick tap. Frankie, did you see what happened?
He got scared. I have no idea. I did not even see it. I was trying to like think of different ways he can get back up to his feet. I didn't even know he was in any danger.
I'm still surprised. What? I don't even know how he finished that.
Play that replay, John.
That was quite a finish. And And I'm interested to see what they call this. We'll send it over to Raj Nation.
Presenting your winner by Von Flu choke tap out at 1 minute and 1 second in the first round, Jonathan Fishbowl Appelman!
Jonathan Appelman. First round submission.
We'll be back with more Elite Fight Night action right after the break.
Elite Fight Night returns to the Hard Rock Casino, Northern Indiana, Friday, August 7th for a night of live MMA action. The region's premier MMA promotion brings you Chicago's top professional prospects and the next wave of rising amateur stars all in one explosive night. Be there for the action. Be there for the energy. Be there for EFN 30. Punch-a-palooza. This event will sell out. Get your tickets now before they're gone. Elite Fight Night, where Chicago fights.
The following contest is for the Elite Fight Night Professional Featherweight Championship. Introducing first, fighting out of the Birds Hot Chicken red corner, representing Macomb Martial Arts, entering tonight with a record of 7-6, weighing in at 168.9 pounds, from Shelby Township, Michigan, Konnor Kuppe! His opponent, fighting out of the BelineLifeBlue.com blue corner, entering tonight with a record of 4-3, representing Dominion Gym, weighing in at 170.5 pounds, from Oswego, Illinois, Tyler Sugar Free Scott! Referee Rob Hines.
This should be stylistically a very entertaining matchup. Here we go. Scott in the black and yellow, Kuppe in the black. As you can already see, Kuppe coming out in that karate stance.
And they're very tall. Like, they stand very tall in that karate stance, try to keep you at a distance. He's backing up every time Tyler comes in, try to close it. He's backing up, just trying to stay at that kick range. They fight in flurries, right? Kick to come in with combinations with the hands.
Scott trying to cut the ring off as he takes the right hand from Kuppe. Kuppe both get tied up along the cage.
We'll find some knees here in the clinch. He's good here. He's good with knees and elbows. Right now he's applying that head pressure just to be annoying, to stand you up. Nice knee to the thigh.
And now Scott trying to work the clinch here as he knee to the body, as both men still very tight. Once again, 3 5-minute rounds. Kuppe 7-6, Scott 4-3.
Yeah, what Kuppe needs to do is start pushing his chest away. Like, get his chest off you. Don't let him control this position. You know, if you can shift his, if Kuppe can shift his head to the inside, you know, and possibly get a frame, he can get off the cage right here. But right now he's kind of in trouble. He's got an underhook, but he has to dig it deeper.
And there's a left hook immediately from Scott. Kuppe was able to grasp the arm really quickly, and both men still very tight.
Yeah, Scott's good in these positions. Like I said, he's got a good little underhook. Right now he's got a frame. You know, he can switch off and do a tie clinch. Right now he's got head position, and he's just digging in. He's establishing position right here. Kuppe's not able to even move.
And there's Scott. Again, trying to create some sort of room. Kuppy's got to figure how to get a break from this.
Yeah, he's got to create some space. There, that's better. But don't get reversed. Like, knee him and break away. Like, try to create a little bit of space to get back to your offense. That knee hurt Kuppe. He's got good head position, but his feet are out of place, so he can't land those solid knees.
And Scott, he's going to reverse his positions.
Yeah, Scott's got a good underhook, head position.
He's spent the majority of this round along the cage. I wonder if now Kuppe trying to go for the head, and Scott keeps his head high. Throws up his hands, but not too impressed. He has to say that he's just kind of waiting there. He's almost mimic looking at his watch. And now throws Kuppe to the ground and goes immediately for the ground and pound.
They said Kuppe's good here. Kuppe's got some R bars in his arsenal.
Now, you mentioned it. He's getting up high. Scott's got to be careful. Going for the arm bar.
Yeah, he's got to keep that pressure down on him. Keep that pressure down and then loosen that arm. He'll try to drive his knees to his forehead. Let's see if we can switch this into an arm bar or a triangle.
And now Scott trying to get his hand free, and that's exactly what he does. And now he may opt to stand, and I wonder if he's going to allow that. And now goes back down. Goes with a huge right. Kuppe, though, again, still very calm. That's the end of round one.
You know, good round by Scott. A lot of control positions. Found clinch, found underhooks, double underhooks. You know, and then ended up finishing up with that takedown. But he's got to be careful. You know, Kuppe's he's kind of crafty on the bottom from his back.
Yeah, you saw it very quickly. Immediately, as soon as he was in that position, went right for the armbar. Got his legs up high, and he was patient to just sit there. And Scott, I know he's kind of pandering to the crowd, trying to be entertaining, but can't take your focus off, because all it takes is a split second, and that might be all Kuppe needs to slip in the submission.
Yep. No, it's just, you know, you get comfortable on top, like you said, and that's when you get caught. But Kuppe's got to start using that to get back to his feet. You know, he's got good armbar attempts, but hey, when you don't get it, like you got to transition into something else.
Now Scott and Kuppe ready to resume. Second round.
I want to see Kuppe kick. Come on, Kuppe.
There's that kick for you as Scott aiming to counter with the left. Now Kuppe comes in with the right. Scott once again presses Kuppe against the cage. Some hand fighting there as Scott has Kuppe. And Scott trying to create some space with his head a little bit to pop back out. And a shot. Looking to take the back now.
That was a nice little duck under. No, but he's got these good control positions. Standing head and arm. He's going to try to find some knees right here.
As soon as you said it, he came to the body, and now he
What another one.
trying to swing Kuppe down.
Because he's just real good in these control positions. Clinch, let's see if he goes with a right elbow right over the top.
And you saw an elbow right there to the body. Making Kuppe uncomfortable.
Yeah, Kuppe's reaching too high for that head. What Kuppe needs to do is find the hands. Like break the hands, drive your hips forward.
And Scott using the knees as he continues to press Kuppe against the cage. Kuppe takes an elbow on the chin, short one.
Yep. These are good elbows, knees, good combinations right here. This is dirty fighting.
This is tough. Kuppe's having to really work hard. Saw at the end of the first round, he was breathing very heavy. And this is not going to help, as Scott's been in total control in the second round.
These are a lot of positions guys will take advantage of. Even in the UFC, you see guys up against a cage, you're not seeing them do any kind of damage to their opponent.
Scott kind of throws Kuppe. Kuppe jumped up. And again, Kuppe may opt to get this to the ground, even if he's on his back. He may be more comfortable in this position. And Scott's got to be careful because he's been in control. He may not want to play that game. At a certain point, referee Rob Hines may step in to allow Kuppe to get to his feet if they continue to be in this position, as Scott's looking for the opportunity. And Kuppe, again, just inviting Scott in.
Yeah, like I said, he doesn't get back to his feet.
And now Scott walked away and Kuppe back to his feet.
Oh, that was a funny head kick right there.
And now Scott fell.
Oh,
Going for the kick.
here, Kuppe.
Every time he gets in these positions, they're playing right into Scott's hands.
Yeah, keep him at range. Kick him. Karate him.
This is where Scott wants to be, though. In that little clinch, tight quarters. And there, he breaks away with an elbow. Kuppe pushes him off him, using the jab. Good little right from Scott.
But yeah, even now in these scrambles right here, like he's tired. Look at, he's just backing up. Can't really get any offense going because he's exhausted.
And Scott went for the spinning back kick. And Scott comes down as Kuppe went right to his back. Scott paid it no mind, and a little combination there from Kuppe. Kick. As now Scott going a serious ground and pound, massive elbows right as round two comes to a close.
We'll be back with round 3 after the break.
To say that he was somewhat displeased by Kuppe immediately giving himself up, and Kuppe looks exhausted.
Kuppe's done. Throw in the towel for Kuppe. You know, it's that wearing, it wears you down, that clinch game. Clinch, knees to the body, elbows, knees to the body, elbows, like going back, switching positions, underhook. clinch, like, you know, framing, head position. Like, it just wears on you, especially when guys are attacking the body. People aren't used to getting hit in the body.
If you're Kuppe, or if you're Scott, you're walking around, you're pounding your chest, and you look across and you see Kuppe the way he is, hunched over his stool, breathing very heavy. That's got to give you all the confidence you need to close this third round out.
I thought he got excited for the Modelo goal.
Kuppe did say that he had to work on his cardio.
I forgot.
It appears so, as now he kind of just hops, and part of me wonders, initially when he opted to go to the ground, as well, he was jiu-jitsu trying to work his submissions, and now it's like maybe he just wants to lay on the ground. Just catch a breather.
He's tired.
Now Kuppe pulls guard, and Scott, see if he takes it. Got to be smart here.
In all seriousness, I'm not making fun of him, but it's like, you know, we were talking about that earlier, is like the hardest thing is when your background is a stand-up, you don't want to wrestle, like, because it's so hard.
Yep.
You know, you don't want to put that time in. You're like, oh, wrestling practice, it's Tuesday. But I might miss that day, you know, or whatever. And that's when you find out who the real fighters are and who aren't.
Now Scott with the elbows, and we saw Kuppe trying to get his legs up high. Scott defended it well, but you gotta be careful. If you're Scott, you're winning this fight. You don't want to make a careless mistake, give up an arm, or slip into a triangle choke.
Yeah, I mean, this is the safest right here, is just, you know, keeping your head high, landing shots, almost keeping your arms short. Like, you don't want to throw any big bombs where he can grab your arms.
And there's Scott now with some serious ground and pound. And using his elbows there.
I thought he was going to elbow him to the finish.
And now Scott back in full guard. Kuppe takes an elbow to the ribs. Beautifully done by Scott.
Yeah, I like those little side elbows he's done. They look like they hurt, right? Like, ow.
Never want an elbow to the ribs.
It's like stabbing me in the ribs.
And there you see Kuppe trying to work his legs high.
Keep going on it. Halfway through, Konnor.
Scott once again rips an elbow through. Now another elbow connects for Scott. Back to the body. Kuppe getting his legs high. Really just trying to work a triangle or an arm bar. See if he can get anything there, and Scott slips it out again. Good straight left. Kuppe eating some hammer fists now. Scott in total control.
You got 90 seconds. Take that arm, it's right there. Break it.
And again, Scott's keeping arms short, not elongated movements. And right there, as soon as he was trying to load up, Kuppe tried to slip an arm bar. Scott stopped it just in time, and now back in full guard. Good elbow from Scott.
Make him bleed.
He's in full control.
Yeah. And Kuppe doesn't really stand a chance right here. I mean, this is...
Yeah, he needs a miracle at this point. He needs to try to get a submission and finish it, because Scott will be cruising to a victory. The Referee Rob Hines warning Kuppe about something. Not sure what happened.
Quit getting elbowed.
We're starting to see some blood over the right eyebrow of the left eyebrow of Kuppe. 20 seconds left in this one. It has been all Scott. Kuppe trying to get his legs higher. Trying to slip an armbar. Scott too good, and now let's go looking to unload a big bomb. You heard the final 10 seconds, and that does it.
Read his lips. He's strong as something.
Kuppe doesn't even want to get up. He's like, just let me stay down here for a sec.
Bring the stretcher. Yeah, good showing by Tyler Scott. You know, as far as just mixing it up. I remember when we first started calling his fights, like he was kind of like a Muay Thai fighter.
Yeah, he was in control, didn't land a big bomb, but he was just outworked him. Really grinded him along the cage and just gave Kuppe all he could handle and then some.
Just like a lumberjack, just chipping away. Chipping away, chipping away, chipping away. Third round, he broke him.
Yeah, he really did. From the end of that second round, him coming out to that third round, I was honestly very surprised that Kuppe made it to the third round and finished the fight, but because it did not look good at all, and it almost looked like he was not going to finish this one. Let's go to our announcer, Raj Nation.
Presenting your winner by unanimous decision, 30-27, 30-27, 30-26. And new Elite Fight Night Pro Featherweight Champion, Tyler Sugar-Free Scott!
Tyler Scott moves his professional record to 5-3 and claims the Elite Fight Night welterweight title. For my partner Frankie Saenz, President Jesse Nunez, and the entire Elite Fight Night crew, this is Miguel Flores signing off from EFN 19.